Reluctantly.
This episode is brought to you by the Christmas Bureau of Edmonton and the Edmonton Food Bank. The Christmas Bureau provides a festive meal and coordination of Christmas giving to Edmontonians in need. The Edmonton Food Bank provides food for about 40,000 people each month throughout the year. Please give if you are able.
Reluctantly.
My son was born on November 18th, 1997. As daylight broke that morning, it revealed the first snowfall of the season. My wife slept, and I held my son in my arms and looked out the window across the Edmonton skyline. It was 5 weeks before Christmas, so quite the gift for my wife and me. And fast forward to 2000, just after his third birthday, Riley and I were doing what we usually did on a Sunday afternoon, driving around, hanging out together, listening to music in the truck. And with it being a few weeks before Christmas, I thought it might be an opportunity for a good deed lesson. Then what happened that afternoon unintentionally turned into something that has become a Christmas tradition for many people who have listened to my radio show over the years. The day after, while it was still fresh in my memory, I wrote it down. I thought it was important, so I wrote down the events of the day before. And a friend of mine read it and told me that I should record it. Another buddy of mine, Brad, offered to play a little guitar behind it. I read it in one take, and it became Riley's story. And I get asked to play it every year on the radio. When I do, when it's over, I get cursed out because tears have ruined somebody's makeup, or someone is late for work as they had to get themselves together in the parking lot before they went into the workplace. Thank you, and Merry Christmas. Sunday morning, my son and I went Christmas shopping at one of the big toy stores in town to pick up a few things for him and my nephew. Every weekend, it's a day of adventure for me and my boy. Sometimes we go to the golf dome, sometimes skating, maybe a treat of fries and a burger at McDonald's. Whenever we go to a toy store, it's guaranteed to be a stay of more than an hour, closer to 2, because there's lots of toys to go through, and he tries to get to every one of them. He leaves a trail of toys behind him in the aisles just in case we get lost and need to find our way back, I guess. I try to tidy up as much as I can so that we don't get thrown out of the store, but he moves fast, and I always try to keep him in my sights. Blue with the moving ears, the bear in the big blue house doing the cha-cha-cha, basketballs, hockey sticks, hula hoops, self-propelled cars and jeeps with battery-operated motors. He went through them all, pulling them off the shelf, wanting every box open, and something else would catch his eye and on to the next aisle. Like any other kid, he loves things that light up, talk, or go whir, but he especially loves cars. Hot Wheels, Matchbox, scale models, die-cast metals, and the like. He spent close to an hour in that section alone, playing with the ones that were accessible and wanting the ones that weren't out of the box so we could play with them. He must have 100 Hot Wheels at home, and he just got a brand new one on Saturday. So I told him to pick out some cars and we'd buy them for some other kids at Christmas. 3 or 4 aisles and a half hour later, he finally decided on the set of 5 Matchbox Coca-Cola vehicles, nicely packaged in that orange box. We got to the cashier and the girl asked if they were for him, and I said no, they were for some other kids, and he agreed, but not very enthusiastically. After paying, we stood next to the Santa's Anonymous bin, and I lifted him up and told him to put the cars into the box for some other kids who don't get a Christmas like he does. He said, no, okay. So I spent the next 10 minutes squatting by my son, trying to explain to him that some kids don't get toys, and that he was giving those toys to those kids. All the while, he just cried harder, and more people started to look. You see, I wanted my son to drop the toys into the box himself rather than me taking them from him and doing it myself. And finally, he let them go and cried even harder, no matter how hard I tried to explain. I bought him a gumball out of the machine next to the toy bin, and he settled down, stopped crying, and as we were driving home, I thought maybe 3 years old is too young for him to understand. Maybe next year. Sunday evening, after his bedtime ritual of hygiene, stories, and a goodnight kiss, just before I pulled his door closed, he said, So some kids will have some toys, Daddy? I said, yes, Riley. So some kids will have some toys.
Reluctantly.
This episode has been brought to you by the Christmas Bureau of Edmonton and the Edmonton Food Bank, both providing much-needed help to Edmontonians in need. If you are able to give at this time of the year or any other, please do.
Reluctantly.